What's up, what's up, what's up, my fellow creators? Welcome, guys. I hope you're having a beautifully, phenomenally blessed day. Thank you for joining me for a moment in the Narcissist series Topics with Becky. Please like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel down below, set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. Make sure you guys check out my other playlists. I make sure I put everything in a nice little neat playlist for you guys, easily accessible, whatever you need. I want to thank you, my OGs, my newgies, and anybody that allows me your most precious asset, your time. It's a true pleasure, blessing, and honor, and a privilege being here, giving you guys these messages. And my prayer, as always, is that any of the videos of mine you watch fall upon your heart in a way that reminds you to use your intuition, to use your discernment, to take back your power, and to make the decisions that serve your highest journey in this here, now, here moment. So I want to talk about something that I continually see. When I got away from my ex, I started watching, videos and stuff to kind of help me overcome things. I mean, much like what you're doing here with me, I learned things really fast. And so what really got to me, though, is after that, my phone, of course, you know how your phone is. You do one search. I'm just going to say it, the easiest thing, like watch. And I'm going to say it now, and I know my phone's going to probably bring it up later. You talk about pregnancy with a friend, and you're not pregnant, but your friend's pregnant, and suddenly your phone is, oh, hey, check this out for the babies. And you're like, right? Long story short, let's bring it back. So my phone sends me stuff about narcissists, and the one thing that has really bothered me, that has kind of just taken off, I guess, I don't even know the right word for this, because it has blown up, is people asking, how do you beat a narcissist? How do you drive them into the ground? How do you bury them? How do you make them feel the same way they made you feel? How do you upset them? How do you get back at them? How do you extract revenge? And I have another video on this, but guys, it has come up so much. This stuff needs to be talked about even more. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I talked about forgiveness in my other videos, but today I just kind of want to go over this thing. I found out the other day that, my chakras, okay, I'm going to talk about chakras and some spirituality here for a minute, but there's a purpose for this, okay? My chakras are pretty much open. They're aligned, with the exception of one, my heart chakra, and I've had a very hard time with my heart chakra because I couldn't figure out why it was so blocked. So I finally went deep within, found out that my heart was so severely broken, and I thought that I had healed from the heartbreak of being with a narcissist for so long. And I had to ask myself, why is my heart still broken? And time goes on, and I ask myself questions all the time, and I get answers in the most random places. I mean, guys, when I say random, it is totally random. And I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, and I couldn't go back to sleep, and here it is. The messages are coming in, the downloads are coming in, and I was up until about 4:30 getting the messages, and it finally dawned on me. I wasn't brokenhearted because of my ex. I was brokenhearted because I allowed myself to stay in that for so long. I had an opportunity to leave. When I broke my back, I had an opportunity to leave. In fact, I remember talking to my chiropractor, who was a very good friend of our family. And I brought it up to him that I knew that my ex was talking to other women. And he lied. I caught him out on it, and he lied about it. And my chiropractor asked me, well, what do you feel, Becky? And I said, I know in my heart of hearts he's lying about it. I said, what do I do? And he says, I can't tell you what to do, but I'm going to ask you this. If you were your own best friend, what would you say? And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, well, that's a serious question. He's like, Becky, if you were your own best friend, what would you tell your best friend in this situation? And I was looking at it as telling myself what to do, and I couldn't see what to do. When I needed to step back and say, okay, if this was my best friend, what would I tell them? I'd probably tell them it's time to get the hell on, right? Like, you shouldn't put up with that. You deserve better than that. But that's such a hard place to be in, especially when someone's telling you, well, you need to be your own best friend. It's like, but you don't treat yourself like your best friend. So to ask yourself a question as if you were your best friend is difficult. Him asking me that question sent my life on a roller coaster ride. because it started to dawn on me, and it took me years to become my own best friend. Okay, like that's the roller coaster ride that I went on. Let's go back. I digress. I remember after my appointment, I went home and I saw messages. More messages to this one young, I mean, she must have been like barely 18. And we were both over 30 at the time. And I'm sitting there, I'm just like, dude, like you're trying to bamboozle these young girls into whatever it is. And he tried to convince me that it was the guys at work doing a prank on his phone. And I was like, when did you give him your phone? And then he's like, oh, they stole it from me. And I was like, but you have your phone in your pocket like 100% of the time. You don't even let me look at your phone because it's in your pocket. So I knew that was a lie. Like, just, you know, when the red flags start piling up. So anyways, what happened was I remember I saw the messages, and yes, guys, I was one of those girlfriends. I knew his passwords. I checked up on him all the time because I wanted to know what the hell he was doing. And I'm sitting here now, and I don't do that because you either are trustworthy or you're not. And now I'm going to listen to my gut feeling and whether or not that's the truth. And I'm going to trust that because I've never been wrong. I've just questioned myself the whole time. And I remember in that moment, I looked at him and I had tears rolling down my eye, and I said, I'm going to show him. I'm going to show him what he's going to miss out on if I leave. And I gave him everything he wanted. I did sex the way he wanted. I talked the way he wanted. I dressed the way he wanted me to. I changed everything about myself. And I was like, all I could say is I'm going to make him regret it. I'm going to make him regret what happened. Let's fast forward 4 years. I left. He reached out to me one time and told me, if we're going to make this work long distance, you need to talk to me. And I never answered him. And I took $300 because I needed the money. And he was spending money. He took somebody out to dinner 4 nights in a row. Red Lobster, they went out to some steakhouse, spent $200. They went out to some other restaurant, spent $150. They went out to another restaurant and spent $300. And I cleaned out the bank account with what was left because we had a shared debit. If that makes me a bad person, cool. I'm going to own up to it, guys. I took $300. That was all that was left. And what got me was I had to convince myself not to reach out to him. He never reached out to me after that. He canceled the card. He went and opened a new bank account. And it took me almost 3 months before I deleted the app on my phone, seeing his money go in and get spent and eating out at these fancy restaurants like 7 days a week, spending money. And I sat and I fumed and I fumed and I fumed. And I was like, I did everything to make him regret. So let's fast forward another 3 years. I get a message of him asking to come and see my dog. And if you guys have watched these series, you guys heard about that. So I bring these stories up because I want you guys to understand there's nothing that you can do to make them regret what they've done to you. Because mentally, they cannot comprehend the magnitude of what's going on. They know how they act. They know what they're doing, yes. But when you do that back to them, you have basically become a self-fulfilling prophecy of doing exactly what they thought you were going to do in the get-go. Hurt them. And now you've made them the victim in the situation. And by making them the victim in the situation, they play that on everybody that you know, everybody that they know. They tug on their heartstrings and they make you look like the bad person, even though all along you were the one that was abused. You were the one that was tossed aside. You were the one that was discarded. And all that time went by when you could have been working on yourself. That 4-year span went by when I could have been focusing on myself, and I was instead focused on him. The last 3 years went by, and they went by so fast without realizing it, and then he pops up, and I was like, oh no, I'm not even going to play this game, and I blocked him. And it took me a whole day to block him. I won't even lie about that, guys, because something inside of me wanted to go back. But let me tell you, the minute I blocked him, it was almost like the last little tendrils of whatever it was that was holding on to me from him pulled me, and it pulled up and out, and it was gone, and I just felt free once again. You can spend a lifetime trying to get back at them, trying to extract revenge on them, but I'm telling you, all you guys are doing is setting up your karma for the rest of this life. And I know I talk about karma, but what goes around comes around. So you're thinking that they're not going to get theirs, but guys, they're going to suffer after you leave. They're going to suffer because they're not going to get the same kind of energy that you put into them. And when you stick around to try and exact revenge, now you're really focusing all your energy on them, and they're just sucking it down like a baby who never is satisfied. You're giving them candy, and they're going to eat it until you take it away. And when you take it away, they're going to go down the street and go over to Spencer's Candy, and they're going to get Spencer's Candy. And when Spencer stops and closes the door over there, they're going to go down the street to Sally and get Sally's candy. That's all you are. You're just somebody that has a 24-hour store that they can walk into whenever they want and pick out their favorite candy bar, their favorite coconut, whatever. Stop being that. The biggest place for you to extract revenge on a narcissist is by truly just taking care of yourself. Because when you take care of yourself and you grow into spiritual boundaries, they can't get past that, and that just kind of baffles them because they're so used to being able to break everybody down. So stop trying to ask how you can extract revenge. Stop trying to ask how you can get back at them, how you can make them feel how they made you feel, because here's the deal. They already feel that. What? No, they don't. Yes, they do. They already feel that inside, because projection, what they project onto you is how they feel about themselves inside. That's why it's so important for you just to forgive and move on. I'm not saying forgive and forget, honey. I'm saying to forgive and move on. Because there is a whole lot of fish out there in the sea, and you being addicted to this one toxic ass fish is not going to get you anywhere. Okay, they're dragging you down to the depths where you can't breathe. Let go. Come back up to the surface. We got orcas. We got whales. We got blue whales up here. Humpback whales. Shit, we got some dolphins, and at least they fun. They're fun, but you're so worried about getting revenge on somebody. And that goes for anybody. That goes for a friend. That goes for family. That goes for... Why are you so worried about getting revenge? Oh, I want to make them feel how I felt. You know what, honey? Move on. Because the minute you become successful, that person is going to be like, oh, well, Susie became successful without me. They're going to feel it. Because they lost the best thing they ever had, and they're going to know that. Whether they tell anybody that or not, that's not the point. And whether they ever give you an apology, that's not the point. Because when you leave and they never reach back out to you, it eats at your head. And they know that eats at your head. But can you become stronger than that? I know I had to. Every day. You know what I told myself? Just one more day, Becky. Don't call him. Don't text him. Don't reach out to him. Just one more day. Tomorrow would come. And I would say, just one more day, Becky. Just one more day. And there were days I was holding my phone in my hand and I had his number right there and I was just staring at it. And I said, just don't do it today, Becky. Just don't. Just one more day. And I would have to put my phone away and go do something else. And it hurt. It hurt that I gave him all those years and he didn't reach out to me once and then reached out to me 3 years later as though nothing had happened. It hurt. It hurt so much, guys. It hurt. I didn't know who I was without him. And now I know. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. And I don't want to get revenge on him. You know what? I wish him well. I hope he has a happy life. I hope he finds who he is. You know why? Because nobody deserves to be so miserable in life that they got to take it out on other people. Nobody deserves that. So I pray for him, and I pray for his salvation, I guess you could say. Because that makes me feel better. I have no control over what he's doing. I have no control over what he did. I have no control over what he might do. All I got control over is this person right here. Right here. And to put revenge on another person because of the way they made you feel, I did that way, way, way too much. And I paid for it way too much, guys. Way too much. So I encourage you guys to let it go. Do yourselves the favor, let it go. Don't sit here and think that you owe it to yourself to make them feel that, because you don't. You owe it to yourself to take care of yourselves. Okay? So I'm going to leave it there, guys. With that being said, please like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel down below. Set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. And until next time, go forth boldly, my fellow creators, and courageously find creative ways to rise above in life, laughter, and love. Until we meet each other again, mwah, peace out. I love y'all. Bye.